Loading up. Test, test, test. Oh, let's get this party started. Test, 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 test. Testing, testing. Test, test, test. Testing, testing, testing. Test, test, test. Testing, testing. Test, test. Testing, testing. Test, test, test. Testing, testing. Testicles, testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 707 of the Daily Mother. Whoa, the most muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Broadcast, Gaincast, Mancast, Pimpcast, and Sleazecast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Welcome to the Gain Train. Welcome to Pumptown. Welcome to the land where Papa Swolio rolls. Got some exciting stuff this Friday, Flex Friday. Thank you so much for joining me on the Quadcast. Remember, every day, fam, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And something super fucking awesome going down today. Going to take a live call. Going to do a little one-on-one with a member of the community. And if you guys like that, if you like the flow of today's podcast, you'll be seeing more of it. So make sure to check back in and follow me on Instagram stories and all that, and give me some feedback after today's episode. So I'm going to go over a couple points, go over some puntos, and for 707, and then we'll get into the phone call towards the end of the episode today. So welcome, Anna, Vince. Let's see on YouTube, Daniel Koondog. Goddamn ads made me miss the intro. I don't know if you missed the intro. I went in hot today. Fucking ads are everywhere. Ads are everywhere. What's going on in Canada? Where you're from, everyone? If you're tuning in live, make sure you give a little drop where you're from, where you're watching the Swole from, where the Gain Train is being consumed. Today's episode 707 coming to you, brought to you by Everest and K2, flexing on you. And of course, you can catch every episode on SoundCloud and Apple Podcast. If it's your first time, make sure you say so. Say what up, Winnipeg. The Winnipeg Jets all the way, baby. Winnipeg. I remember that from like NHL 94 when I used to play hockey video games, and NHL 2001, and then I stopped. Los Angeles. I like it. Anyone hailing from Swole Lake City, Glutaw, Boston, Mass, Jacksonville, Gainesville. Anyone? What's up, brother? Texas. What's up, Casey? We'll be talking to you in a few. Salute from Russia, Moscow, Missouri, New Orleans. Sweet. Checking in from Ohio. Well, great, fam. It sounds like a lot of you are getting some pretty decent weather. It's hot as a hippo's ball sack out there today. Sunny, beautiful, and it's getting a lot hotter. The summer's coming. In Florida, this summer just comes like it tiptoes. It's really nice, and all of a sudden it just slaps you upside the fucking head. So like it'll take you by surprise. You'll think it's fine, like beautiful weather. This is why people live in Florida. It's gorgeous, and all of a sudden, just fucking gross. All of a sudden, just wet ball sack. So today's episode 707, I'm going to discuss the difference, or the importance, or the relative importance of nutrition versus weightlifting. So make sure, if you're on Twitch, make sure you say hi. Drop some thumbs, drop a what up on the Twitch piece if you're watching me stream on Twitch. So let's talk about that 80-20 rule. A lot of you have heard me call that bullshit before, which it is. But let's discuss realistically and logically and tactfully what could be some of the logic, or what could be some of the discussion points, or the pros and cons of thinking of your training in terms of fitness or nutrition being more important. So in order to get this started the right way, what are your thoughts? What do you feel about your fitness and your nutrition? Do you feel like one is actually more important? I come from the belief, or from the religion, so to speak, that both are equally important, that both are 100%. You can't really be playing 80-20. You can't be saying that food is 80%, abs and stuff are made in the kitchen. Fat is maybe monitored, and body weight can be regulated to an extent with just food. But how much are you missing when you don't exercise at all? So if you want to really get into that, you have to really go to the extremes. You have to think of, okay, imagine not working out at all and only eating a certain way. Got hair everywhere. Imagine only eating a certain way. Only eating a certain way. Imagine going all in and only eating a certain way and not caring about your nutrition, not caring about what you're doing for training. And then imagine eating junk food all the time and training. I do believe I do believe you can't uh I do believe you can't out train a bad diet, because if you're eating crap, you're giving your body poison, you're giving your body, I would say, inflammatory foods. You're causing your body structural damage and structural issue from the beginning. Like, the foundation of the fuel that you're consuming is bad. So it's hard to build on a bad foundation. And when you say something like that, Karen, on Instagram, a balanced diet and lift, like, I hate the phrase a balanced diet. I fucking hate it. I get it and I understand where you're coming from, and there's nothing wrong with saying it. I just don't like the phrase balance. I don't like the phrase even. I always feel like that's like a half-assed, like, well, as long as you eat everything in moderation. I just don't like the whole moderation concept. The right diet. And I'll say if the right diet for you is nitpicking and grazing every little thing, I feel like you got to find what works and go all in. I feel like you have to find what works and go hard on that. I think looking for balance, or the concept of looking for balance, or thinking that there is or should be a balance, can be a downfall. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be getting fiber. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be getting vegetables or fruits. And that's not what I mean by balance. I just don't like the phrase balance. I feel like balance means taking an even stand and you're not committing one way or the other. But I think you can't out train a bad diet. I think I think some people can get away with it maybe when you're younger. Some people might still look good and eat crappy. But really, if you want good results, quality skin, really quality recovery, and a quality physique, you really do have to be on point with your nutrition. You can't be eating shitty and think just lifting is going to go somewhere. Like, it's going to go to your glutes, it's going to go to your biceps because you're training hard. I don't think it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Like, you really need to convince your body and mold your body a certain way. So that's my take on it. That's my take on it. I really believe that you can't out train poor nutrition. But if you're just eating right and you're not training at all, like, not just training bad, but you're not training, you're going to be fucking skinny. You're going to be skinny. You're not going to have good bone structure. You're not going to be strong. There's a lot of things that you're missing by not moving, by not exercising properly. I don't see any way that you can go around it and not put 100% importance on both. I just don't think you can give a 80-20. I don't think you can measure one and say it's 80% of your intake. It's going to be this value. Like, how can you quantify that, right? How can you say that your nutrition is going to be 80% of what it should be? Like, what do you think is going to happen um, as a result of that, of going half-assed? You said echoing. What am I echoing on? It's possible because I have something else coming in for the recording in a second. So how's the audio on on the other platforms? Does it sound echoey on, for example? Do I sound like I'm echoing on Facebook or on YouTube? How's it sounding? YouTube sounds great quality, great. Okay, so maybe you want to restart. If it sounds weird, you never know. Sometimes the connection's echoing on here. You might want to restart Twitch. You might want to restart it. It could be one of the settings. It could be something that I have plugged in, but you might want to restart Twitch. Loud and clear on Facebook and YouTube. So the audio sounds good on Facebook and YouTube, and that's the same as on Twitch pretty much. So I wonder why it could be because I have something plugged in, but I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind. Good here. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, I agree. I agree. They're both equally important. I agree that there is a that it doesn't take balance. It takes going all in. It takes really committing yourself. I think it takes really committing yourself to both and coming to the realization that you can't skirt one or the other. There's no shortcuts. And it's a perfect mindset for a Friday. And it's good that we have to come back to this sometimes and reconvene and discuss, because simply focusing on one isn't going to cut it long term. Like, you need to have your shit in order. You need to have your shit organized and focused on both your nutrition and your fitness training. So, Stone, I don't know if it's a trick question. It's more like a common statement or a common phrase that people say and people throw around. People throw that shit around a lot. People throw that shit around a lot. And I think it just gets really, really dragged around. I think it gets really blown out of proportion. And I think it's a huge problem. I think it's a huge, huge problem when people start flaunting and floating like the 80-20 rule and shit like that. So how are we sounding on Twitch again? Give me a little update. I just tweaked something else. How is it sounding right now? Going to it's leg day beaches. Yeah. So any comments on that? I just kind of wanted to shake the tree a little bit. I wanted to shake the tree a little bit. I wanted to wake everyone up and make sure that you're not slacking going into the weekend. Just something simple for a Friday. A couple nuggets. Shouldn't it be 100 and 100? I think it should be 100 and 100. I think it should always be 100. I think you should be always living on 100, especially, focus with your focus. I do think that if you're starting with your training and you're new to training, I think it's valuable to start with your fitness first and create a good habit, and then branch out into your nutrition. I don't think you should be going and focused all on your nutrition from the start. I think it's tough. Thinking about your nutrition in terms of, or think about your training in terms of just nutrition from the beginning. I think you need to be focused on your fitness. And those of you that said you're echoing here on Twitch, you stopped over. Actually, we're going back to Twitch for the phone call. So that's going to be exclusive on Twitch. So make sure you hop back over there. And I fixed some things, so it should be all good. So I don't think you need to worry if you're focusing on one, if you're just starting off. So make sure you're not, and I'll reiterate this, make sure you are not, how should I put this? Make sure you're not pressuring yourself. Make sure you're not pressuring yourself in terms of getting stressed over your results if you're just getting started, if you're focusing on one at a time. I think it can be very dangerous to focus on both, two at the same time. I think it's very dangerous to focus on nutrition and on your fitness at the same time. I think that's where most people fall off. That's a big problem. Everyone tries to do everything at once. You want to do your nutrition right. You want to do your food right from the beginning. And that's a huge issue. I think that's a huge problem because most people bite off more than they can chew. So wherever you are with your training, wherever you are with in your exercise journey, make sure you're not overdoing it. Make sure you're not overdoing it. Make sure you're not trying to take on too much. Okay. Make sure you're not trying to do too much. Make sure you're not trying to overload yourself. Make sure you're not trying to literally take on too much for your training. I posted yesterday on Instagram and Twitter that simple is the right way. When you simplify your training, you simplify your nutrition, you just get all the benefits from focusing on your target. You get all your benefits from narrowing your field of vision. You get all the benefits from just narrowing where you're looking and what you're trying to accomplish. I think that's extremely important. I just think it's absolutely extremely important to target your training in the right way. I really do think it's important to focus on one thing at a time. And that's why with the 90-day dash program, that's why with that approach, it is it's fitness first. And I've talked to a lot of you about this before. And just so you all know, I'm tweaking some audio things around here, and I'll probably go live again in a second for the phone call, just especially for the phone call. So I'll make that a separate thing just because I think it might be a little bit complicated here. I'm getting a little bit of some audio feedback apparently on Twitch. Just drop a comment right now if you're watching on Twitch how the sound sounds, if that echo went away. I'm just curious if the echo went away on Twitch. So just drop a comment below right now if the audio changed, because I'm just kind of like unplugging some things around on my end just to see how it adjusts. So let me take some comments and then we'll get to the call. Been at it 9 years. Only thing it's hard on is my marriage and family life. What, training, lifting, being healthy? I think it should be the opposite. It should be helping. I think it should be helping. I think it should be helping you. Why wouldn't it be helping you? Why should I really think it should be helping your marriage, your health, and your um and your personal life. Yeah, the sound's fine on Facebook. The sound quality is great. Cool. All right, Twitch is acting up then. Yeah, if you're getting weird stuff on Twitch, you're the only one. I don't know why I changed stuff. Who knows? Maybe it's just the network today. Full-time job and hitting the gym every day, always leaving my family. So what? So what? Leaving your family. It's okay. They'll be alive when you get back. You got to do what you got to do. I mean, you're not going to be alive and you're not going to be a quality parent if you're not healthy. So you have to just, I mean, obviously you weigh that. Obviously you're weighing that out. Obviously you're weighing that out. Obviously you're weighing that out if you're taking that approach and you're still getting it done. Obviously you're weighing out that pro and con. You get a home gym, you could do that. I don't know. Some people can't handle a home gym. Some people can't focus at a home gym. It's weird. It's weird. The sound is weird. Not everyone can train at home. Not everyone can focus. Not everyone can separate. Not everyone can get get your head in the game at home. Good role model to work out for family. My mom used to sacrifice it and taught me to sacrifice my health for others on Twitch. Yeah, it's really important to provide that leadership. And the leadership, whereas you don't tell people what to do, but you show and you lead by example. That's really important. The leading by example. The leading by example is extremely important. Leading by example. If you can't lead by example, if you can't do and walk the walk, like how can you expect other people to? How can you expect other people to put in the effort if you're not putting it in yourself? I feel like that's a little bit hypocritical. I feel like it's a little hypocritical if you're trying to encourage people to be healthy, if you're encouraging people to be in shape, if you're encouraging people to do X, Y, and Z and to do the hard work, but you're not willing to do it yourself. It's hard to get someone to do something that you're not willing to do. Gotta lead by example. I remember my first day in the gym. I threw up after getting home. Guess it was the heavy breakfast. We've all made those mistakes. We've all made those mistakes where we ate too much. Everyone's made those mistakes. Everyone. Yeah, we've all done that shit. We've all done it. We've all done it. We've all done it. Everyone's done that shit. Everyone's done it. I think I'll figure out the whole Twitch thing, the echo. We'll see how that works out moving forward. But what I'm gonna do right now, just to reset and restart, I'm actually gonna reload up a broadcast. So I'm gonna start a brand new broadcast. Gonna take a phone call. We're just gonna do a live discussion for a few minutes. And you know what? Let's just do it. Maybe let's see if the audio goes away. Let's just do it right now. Let me just plug this thing back in and we'll see how the audio sounds. Just mess around here on a Friday. I think it'll be fun. So stick around. Let me put my headpiece on. What's up? What's up? So you should be able to hear me just fine. And never want to plug things in. Never want to plug things in. Careful. I think I might know. Well, I wonder if that was causing the audio. So how am I still sounding? Just make sure that the audio is still make sure the audio is still coming through. What's going to happen right now is on Instagram. Instagram, I'll leave you on, but if you're watching on Instagram, you're not going to be able to hear. So that's the only downside. So you're not plugged into the system Instagram. There's no way I can broadcast from my computer. So if you're interested in following this, you can log on to Twitch TV/Swolenormous, or go follow me on Facebook or YouTube right now, because I'll just stay live and let's just see how this goes. See if I can rock this. So we're gonna do the call in just a moment. Today's shoulders. Nice, RJ. Sweet. So that's today's episode 707. Gonna do the phone call, and let's see if either Twitch stops echoing. Maybe it'll continue to echo. Who knows? Who cares? Just trying new things. Can't stress things, people. Can't stress things. Always, let's see here. Always trying new things. So drop some comments, drop some questions. And what is going to happen is you're going to be able to see what's going on. You're going to be able to see what you're going to be able to hear what I hear. So if you have any questions, you can just drop them in the comments, and I'm quite sure that you should be able to hear. You should hear the same thing that I did. And I tested this all yesterday, but you know how tests go. Tests are tests for a reason. They don't always execute. So if you can hear the ringing, if you can hear all this, just make sure that you say, I don't know, say what's up. Can you guys hear that ringing okay? How we doing?
What's up, brother?
Yo, Casey, what's going on, man?
Oh, nothing much, bud.
Sweet. So we're trying to do this live. So if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, first off on Twitch, let me know if you guys hear the audio. If you hear the audio echoing still on Twitch, maybe that'll be able to. Maybe we'll see if that works. And if you're on Facebook and YouTube, let me know if you can hear Casey's voice. So, what's up, fam? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great, brother.
Nice, nice. Trying to make sure you're not peeking. Trying to make sure you're not going to blow anyone's freaking ear holes out. I got the phone call. Still got the echo. So, all right. So maybe it's I don't know what it is on Twitch. Who knows? But let's set this one to voicemail. Cool, man. So let's get everyone up to speed. So people got the phone call, people can hear. Sweet. So let's just keep on rocking with it. So tell people a little bit about yourself. Let's just get everyone up to speed, and then you can catch me up to speed because we haven't talked in a while. So just give me the rundown, or give everyone the rundown, maybe how you came across this old bearded asshole, and then we'll discuss what's going on lately and anything you want to talk about, even just questions or just shoot the shit. So I'll let you go ahead. Everyone, this is Casey. Welcome him to episode 707 of The Sleazy. It's pretty sweet.
That's great. All right. My name is Casey. I'm from a town called Lubbock, Texas. I am an MRI technologist. So I do MRIs for a living, so medical field. I have 3 kids. I am 38 years old. And I've been following Swolenormous for a good year and a half now. We've been kind of back, watched all the back episodes from 1 on, got all of the YouTube stuff done, just kind of listened to everything. Other than that, this most thing I do is just, work out every night instead of doing mornings. Mornings aren't good for me. Got 3 kids, got to get them ready for school. So I help the wife get the kids ready for school. And do that out the day, go to work, and then come back home, fix dinner, help her with the kids again, and then 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night I go to the gym. Sometimes I take my 13-year-old son with me.
Nice.
And we just go work out.
Nice. So
was a little bit about me there.
Was it hard getting on like a schedule? Like, I mean, how do you feel? Have you ever tried working out in the morning, or has it always been like a nighttime thing for you?
I did work out in the mornings at one point. It was just, too much, getting up at 4 or 5 in the morning, working out, and then getting home, getting the kids up.
Yeah.
just kind of got tiring because then, you still got kids awake till 8 or 9 o'clock at night, 10,
Right.
sometimes on weekends. So you get a little tired. So I just decided, hey, I'm up till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night every night anyways, helping with kids and family and everything else. And so I just said, you know what, let's just do this at night.
All right. Nice.
So much easier for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I get that question all the time. I get that question all the time. What's the best time to work out? What's the best time? I mean, that depends so much. I like working out first thing in the morning, but I don't always have a schedule every single day that allows me to do that effectively. And if you just focus on getting it done and doing the workout, just period during the day, it'll work itself out. Like, not everyone's a morning person. If you want to believe in morning or night people, I mean, some people just are so off on their schedule, they'll never be up in the morning. But doing it, period, is always the number one thing. There's actually getting it done. So many people just have that I should say that hurdle to get past rather than worrying about the details of when they're doing the workout. So how long did you fall off it for a little bit? Cause I know we didn't, I didn't see you around these parts for a while. So now that everyone has a little more
I
background.
never fell off of the Swolenormous. Yeah. Never fell off the Swolenormous. I just kind of was getting too busy at work.
Yeah. Just
so I couldn't watch live and then I just, just different things. Life gets in the way of, everything.
Yeah.
You had to make sacrifices somewhere, either not watching live or at the gym. And I chose not to watch live at points instead of going to missing the gym time.
Yeah.
So I'd still go to the gym, still get my workout in. And then when I had time during the day or at night, I'd catch up on my episodes and watch the Swole.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, life definitely comes up, and I try to reiterate to everyone, especially here on the show, and I'll rage I'll rage about different topics, and we'll go over, we go over everything. But I feel like a lot of the questions that have been coming through, especially, it just always comes down to the psychology. It's coming a lot more down to the psychology. It's coming down to everyone complicating their own schedule more than it needs to be. Like, it takes the simple things and the simple focus first, and literally like the execution of it. And then a lot of the higher level things can fall into play. Tanya's saying on Facebook that she says, being a parent, we think the babies have to come first, but doing something for ourselves helps to be a better parent and a role model. So they set up a home gym and the kids love it. So you say you bring your son. How do you feel that? Yeah. How do you feel that working out or having your kids know that you're going to the gym, or especially, of course, your boy that, goes and works out with you? How do you feel like that's made an impact? Just like that being the theme or something that dad does?
It's changed their outlook on fitness. Before I've always been a workout guy.
Mm-hmm.
I worked out, from when I was 15, 16, all the way till 38.
Right.
I fell off there right before I came back or found you. And I was over 200 pounds, getting overweight, getting tired, just not really spending that quality time with the kids anymore. And then I decided, after I watched some of your videos, I was like, man, this is time to get back in and do it. So I started doing it. And then we have, just the kids are doing, the youngest, the one that sent you the video, Papa Swole, a long time ago.
Yeah.
He does yoga now.
Nice.
And he's loving yoga. And the older ones, they like, lifting weight, getting bigger, doing bodybuilding. Kagan is 17 and he's into bodybuilding big time. And then my son Cohen, he's 13 and he's starting to get there. He's smaller. He's like 90 pounds, but he's wanting to get that point where he's gaining muscle and going to be better for football and basketball and different things he plays.
Yeah, I like it.
So it's pushing him to
when you get kids. Yeah, when you get kids to do yoga, and how many of you watching right now that have whether you're part of the Swolenormous X community, how many of you have started doing yoga and had your kids get involved with actual yoga? I mean, lifting is one thing, but I really do that always, I guess, touches a special place in my heart when kids do yoga. That's such a foundational thing that I was missing when I started training. That was such a key point that I didn't have when I started doing bodybuilding, when I started lifting heavy. Like I wish, like I just wonder what everything would have been like in terms of like my fitness if I didn't start that like in my 20s when I started training hard. Just to start them young is absolutely essential. It's such a great place to start them off and to teach them the right way of how to do things, from the beginning. It's priceless.
Oh yeah, totally. Because, back when I was 15, 16 playing football, had a lot of injuries, but never did yoga, never did any mobility training, never did any foam rolling. We were just taught lift heavy, hit people, and play football. We don't,
Yep.
In Texas, that's what we do. We
Yep.
don't worry about our bodies until later. And then now I'm 38, and back pain, knee pain, everything. But since I've been doing the yoga and the foam rolling, it's actually relieved a lot of that pains from old injuries from football and different things. So good thing is getting the kids involved, teaches them younger that yoga is okay to do as a man.
Yep.
And it's okay to help your body out recovering,
That's a big thing. People thinking that yoga's for chicks. Anymore. People think yoga's for chicks. That's still very, and Texas is a very, be a man type state.
Yes.
It's very, toughen up and be, to wear pants, don't wear shorts. It's like, you catch a dude wearing yoga pants in Texas. I guess you generally won't.
Yeah, they don't have too much around here.
But it's, yeah. So when you start learning or you start exposing them and teaching them like those types of values, like how to approach, training from that kind of open-mindedness, like that's huge. That's game changing. I mean, and things are very much so different with the internet and how you can reach so many people around the country and around the world. So culturally things are kind of blending a little bit, but yoga is it's really popular with guys, but it's still fringe. It's still fringe. It's so new still. And I still get so many, that's why I push it so hard. Honestly, I really feel like I push my thumb on yoga so much just because there's just classically so much resistance. I don't want to knock on the door. I just want to knock it down with a bulldozer.
Yeah, totally.
Hello?
I'm here.
Okay. No, I heard some background. You had me on live at the same time?
Oh no, it just came on for some reason. I have no idea why.
That's cool. That's cool. I wanted to make sure it wasn't on my end. So what are you doing right now for your training?
On my end, buddy.
So what are you doing right now for your training? I have someone asking me, is Papa Swole an actual papa? No, not a papa. I'm a papa of 600 muscles, 600 plus muscles. So I'm a papa.
Yes, sir. You're a family to those, right?
Yeah.
We do kind of more of a bodybuilder split. I work out most every day. So, we'll do chest and then we do back and then we'll do arms or shoulders, arms and legs.
Nice.
Kind of a split. And then we put in yoga and different things throughout the night. Me and my son, we're going to start doing sit-ups and push-ups at night, kind of before we go to bed.
Right on.
A little six-pack or something going on because my belly's still old man belly right now.
Yeah, nice.
So I just I'm trying to do functional workouts and to get aesthetics workouts too. So functional for my son so he can still play football, have the speed and the agility and everything to succeed in that life that he wants to live. And then the aesthetics too. So we don't have just a big body and we can't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
So we want to have both. And so we're trying to push ourselves to the limits, lifting heavy, but doing failure repetitions, whatever else, we work the Papa Swole way.
Sure. So what would you say for someone who like doesn't have necessarily, that family flow yet, for someone that's looking to, I don't know, get into fitness, but they don't have like the support of their family? Cause I think we get a lot of community members and people that are in in the family and just in the greater Swolenormous community that don't have that routine yet, or don't think they can get into a routine. They have 3, 4 kids and they work long shifts. And, just having a conversation before we had the call, someone that's,
Yep.
Not seeing their family a lot because they're sacrificing and they're doing things that are, or he's sacrifice, you sacrifice time. If you're working out, you're not with your family. If you're working out, you're at work, you're not at home. So it literally is like anything else. It's a sacrifice. You want one thing, you're going to have to do one thing and leave something else by the wayside. So how do you balance? Obviously you're, integrating it by working out with your kids and you're setting a good example, but what would you suggest to someone who's maybe struggling setting that up or getting like wrapping their head around it?
Well, the thing we did as our family is communication with the wife, communication with the kids of what I want in my life, as in working out wise, what my wife wants out in her workout life, what she wants, where she wants to work out. And then we figured out the best times for both of us to do that. And it just ended up, she puts our youngest to bed at 8 o'clock because he's only 5. So she puts him to bed. Me and the oldest go to the gym, work out for an hour and a half, and we're back home 9 o'clock, 9:30, and we put him to bed. And then it gives us time to spend together 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. We watch a couple of shows together or whatever we need to do.
Right.
But it's what, if you don't tell your significant others or your family what you want in your life, you can't really push yourself to say, well, that's something I need to do. If you're doing it for everybody else, you're not doing it for yourself. It's not really gonna get your focus to that point where you're going to get off your ass every day just to go lift weights for an hour. Because I've been doing this for a long time. Lifting weights for an hour to 2 hours a day is just tedious. You don't want to be there some days. You don't want to do it, but you know what? It's what is happening, and that's what you need to do to make the changes in your life. And to see the changes and, shirts that used to be fitting me in the belly, and now they're not. They're fitting me fine in the belly. Now they're tight in my neck or my arms or different areas. You can see the change of how you get.
Yeah.
And so it's really great about that.
Yeah, I guess it just comes down to that. It just comes down to that sacrifice. I think communication is. Oh, we had a discussion the other day. I think it was also on Instagram. In terms of some of the posts on what you need to keep in your life, like your circle, your starting 5 was the name of the episode. And it's kind of about that cliche concept of, you are the average of your 5 friends or the 5 people you surround yourself with. So making sure that you surround yourself with the right people in general, I think is extremely important, and it's very underrated. And the people that you have in your life that you make contact with every day, you might not see 5 friends every day, but that doesn't mean that those 5 people aren't going to be your family members. So you might have someone has a negative spouse or a negative parent or a sibling or whatever, they're fighting against essentially. That's going to be something that has to, that's an obstacle to climb. That's something to overcome. And that's something to evaluate. And not everyone can just cut off a family member. It's hard sometimes, especially if you live with them. But if you're creating that communication around the people that you're with the most, whether they're family or friends, that's everything. Like if you come at it the right way, especially if you don't have the positive, because you might have a family where it's like, oh, you're out at work all day and now you're going to go to the gym and now I have to take care of the kids and, I need help, or whatever dynamics might be out there for someone that is not supportive of fitness. I think it just needs to be looked at from the right lens, because you're doing it for the family. Like if you're taking care of yourself, you can provide and you can protect and you can lead. And if you're not taking care of your health, it's just, you can't do that.
That's totally correct. I'll be sitting at the house around 8 o'clock at night, 9, right before my youngest goes to bed, and his name's Asher, and Asher will go, "Hey, Dad, you going to go to the gym tonight?" And I'm like, "Hey, yes, son, I am." And he goes, "Okay." And like, he knows at that time of the day, it's time for daddy to go to the gym. He knows he's going to be with mom, and so he's okay with that. Mom's okay with it, dad's okay with it, you know. But sometimes I don't want to go, and he looks at me like, "You're not gonna go get yoked." You know, he's little, but he knows getting yoked like a no joke. So
Yeah.
hey, he's learning from you.
He's learning. He's learning the important things.
He's learning the important things to be able to put that in, you know, instill that in their minds, in the kids' minds that young, that there's times that, you know, dad's got to be a dad, but then, and mom's got to be a mom, but then there's those times that it's mom time or dad time, that they need to go to the gym or they need to do, you know, whatever it is they need to do to make everybody's life better and the whole family. And it's such a change when you see the kids' hearts and everybody else's, you know, their minds change to, well, dad was sitting here eating popcorn and candy with me like a year ago, and now he's not doing that and going to the gym. You know, maybe he'll steal a candy here and there, but you know what? It's dad's time. It's time to go get work done. And when we get home, hey, we flex and we have a good time together, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's very important to create. It's just a habit. It's just being used to it and upbringing. And if you start them young, then they understand. And like you said already, if you communicate, you make that point clear, um, then you're straight. I mean, there's some people that are commenting about setting up home gyms so that, you know, because they can't bring their kids to the gym when they're too young. So they've been just building out their own home gyms so they can be consistent. I mean, that's a great option if you have the space and you have the means to do that, which makes it more convenient. I know a lot of people in the community that have home gyms that train with their kids at home, and then, you know, you're able to do whatever you want in your house. Whereas maybe at a big gym, you can't bring someone. Do you ever work out at home, or do you just normally go to the gym?
Well, I have a home gym, got a full bench, weight set, everything in my garage, and I cannot work out there because if I work out at home, I start seeing things that need to be done around the house, cleaning, fixing something. I get that, you know, the mentality of being a dad, and my focus is not on me. It's on what needs to be done for my family at the house. And it's a little harder.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. I've tried working out at home before too in the past, and every once in a while I have a great workout or I'll just be motivated to do it. Maybe in the future I'll build out something nice, but if I go somewhere, I'll get it done. If I go somewhere, it's like you're trapped in a cage. If you go somewhere and then you have no choice, like, well, I came here, I'm going to work out. And you can't do home chores when you're at the gym. So I totally hear that. So is there anything like before we unplug, like, is there anything that's on your mind? Anything? Cause I know we haven't caught up in a while, and you've been uh in and out. Is there anything like in particular with your training that you wanted to discuss at this time?
No, not really. Everything that you've brought to the table with Swolenormous X, the videos, the live broadcast, do your research. If you do it well, listen to everything you have to say, you don't really have many questions. If you listen to everything that you're bringing to the table and saying, hey, this is what you need to do, and just do it, it will change your mentality on what you need to do in your life. I used to not do any mobility training or, you know, trying to do different things to offset the damage that I was doing to my body, and it was just killing me slowly and not giving me gains that I was looking for. And now that we're doing the offsets of mobility training and yoga and different things that you've instilled into my training routine, it's just changed the way I think about stuff now. You know, I touch my toes very easily. I can bend over, not hurt my back when I get off the couch anymore. You know,
it's the little things like that. It's the little things that people don't normally think of as important. I always say, if you have pain and then you go from having pain to not having pain, that's the biggest game changer. That's more important than building muscle or getting more cardio. If you have pain and you can eliminate or eradicate your pain, it's a game changer. It's so different. It's so it makes all the difference. Like, to just live at like a just fucking pain free. God, it's everything.
Yes, sir.
You hear that, everyone? Everyone that's watching, do your yoga, do your mobility. Casey says so. Well, bro, dude, thank you so much for taking the time today. It was great catching up, and I know we'll do it again soon, because I want to continue doing some other calls and other content with the community. So let's definitely do this again real soon. I'll be in touch.
All right, sounds good, bud.
Dude, Casey, I appreciate it, man. Everyone say goodbye to Casey. Bye, Casey. Right. Bye. Take care, bro.
Go, bye.
Later, bro.
Bye.
All right, fam. Well, there you have it. I hope that was clear enough. I definitely just wanted to. That was a little bit of a fun phone call. Casey's been a member of the family for a while, and he was kind of like in and out, just going through some stuff on his end, getting things reorganized. You know how we all go through things with life, but always been plugged in, and it was just a great segue into this. I'm going to, those of you that are watching, or those of you that have been watching on Twitch or whatever the audio situation is, I don't know if it's something on my end. I don't know if it's just a connection today, but apparently on YouTube and Facebook, it sounded great. So hopefully this is something that I can get working well on all three platforms. So whether or not this becomes once in a while a part of the Daily Swole, or I'm just going to do phone calls separately and stream them randomly when I take them, that's going to be something that I will, I'll keep you all updated on. So depending on where you're watching, whether you're watching on freaking Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, right now in the comments below, did you like the one-on-one call? Would you like to watch? Would you like me to stream more phone calls? Would you like me to take more phone calls either on the Daily Swole? Would you like me to do some separate streams with phone calls when I take them? Just what your opinions are of the content. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? And I'll keep on adding new stuff and giving new content and giving some more insights and stuff. Always trying new things, always looking to take it to the next level. So if I could do more of these calls and make them a part of the show, or just broadcast them when I do them, I will do so. So again, I want to thank Casey and thank him for his time, and talking to a crazy bearded broski. I'm trying to hear this. Maybe I'm trying to figure out why I was getting some feedback. I might have just figured it out. Okay. So let me know if, I think the Twitch audio was a little bit sketchy, but I think on Facebook and YouTube has been super crisp. Tried yoga, can't get my mind to stop racing. That's probably going to be what we use in closing here, Brian. You couldn't get your mind to stop racing. If you're having trouble slowing down and focusing during yoga, it just means you need it more. Anyone that has trouble focusing from, quote, a racing mind with yoga, that is something that just shows how much you actually need yoga. And I'm not just saying that. That is literally something that your body is telling you that it needs, and it needs desperately. So if you are, let me just unplug that. So if you are struggling with focusing, I want to see if that changes the sound. I'm always testing things. I can't stop testing. If you feel that you are struggling with your yoga in terms of relaxing, in terms of focusing on what you're doing, being in the moment, being present, that is something that you want to just keep on practicing. And that's why when we talk about yoga, when I mention yoga, and when you hear it talked about and discussed properly, it's a practice. It's a yoga practice. It's not you're doing yoga, you're awesome at yoga, or you're doing yoga, you're terrible at yoga. It's, are you practicing yoga? It's always practice. It's never you conquered yoga, you're excellent, you won yoga. Okay. You can practice more frequently and improve, but there's really no good or bad, because yoga is really about what your body is capable of doing in the moment. It's very accepting. It's all accepting. There's no pros and cons. There's no good or bad in yoga. It's just what you can do and what you can't do, or what you're able to do, or what your body has become accustomed to doing. So the more you practice it, like anything else, the better it's going to be. Okay. Literally, it's just practice. It's just practice. So many people are more flexible and more mobile than I am or ever could be. Okay. That's not my practice. That's not my life. That's not my path. You have to make sure that you're following your path. You have to make sure that you are practicing to your capacity and you're not pushing yourself past that boundary. Like, you need to make sure that you're not overdoing it in terms of resistance training, that you're balancing out your body, that you're addressing these different aspects of your fitness. Because if you don't, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. It will happen. I don't want to see it happen, but it will happen. That's just how the body works. It will happen. You're going to be jacked up and it's going to suck. And I don't want to see you in pain. I want to see you immobile, but that's where it goes. So if you learned anything from today's episode, practice your yoga, do something with mobility, balance out your training, and we will be back here tomorrow for episode 708. And over the course of the next several episodes and content and days and weeks, I will be taking some more phone calls, whether or not they're live on the show or it's on separate live casts. Just make sure you tune in, drop in the comments below what you thought of the live phone call if you want to see more of those. And thank you so much for joining me for episode 707 of the Daily Sleazy Quadcast, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook every day. And of course, SoundCloud and iTunes for the podcast, Apple Podcast for the podcast. Catch it there, SoundCloud or Apple. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce Magoose. Thank you so much for joining me for 707. And I'll see you mañana for the most muscular Swolecast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. Peace out, fam. Love you. Bye.